Well, yet again, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, has been slagging off the Mayor of London. This is what he has been saying about Sir Sadiq Khan.
Look at your Mayor of London. He's a disaster. He's a disaster. He's got a totally different ideology of what he's supposed to have. And he gets elected because so many people have come in and they vote for him now because, you know, it's like, it's one of those things. But I hate what's happened to London, and I hate what's happened to Paris. I hate when I see it.
Donald Trump talking about Sadiq Khan. Well, Laila Cunningham is a Westminster City Councillor for Reform UK. Laila, great to have you on the programme. There's also a report out today that advocates that Sadiq Khan should be stripped of his power to run the Met. This is only 45% of Londoners believing the Metropolitan Police doing a good job in their local area. That's down from 69% in 2016. This is a report by the Policy Exchange think tank. It's blamed a decline in confidence in the force's failure to detect high-volume crime such as theft, its poor handling of large-scale protests, we know there's pro-Palestinian protests as well, and not strengthening neighbourhood policing. We'll get on to Sadiq Khan in just a second, perhaps, Laila, but as a city councillor yourself, you must every single day talk to your constituents and others who aren't happy with the Metropolitan Police. What's your view on this report?
I mean, the report says what Londoners and my residents feel for years. It appears that the mayor has lost control of policing and public confidence has collapsed. I get so many residents who don't even report crime. They feel completely unsafe. People are moving out of London because they don't feel safe in the city. Children are consistently mugged, targeted, you know, threatened with a knife. And what the report says is the Met is failing on the basics. Street crime is up, theft crime is up, knife crime is rampant, and detection rates are historic low. And listen, I don't blame the Met. I've worked very closely as a senior Crown prosecutor with the police. I was even honoured to attend a police dojo as one of the first cohort of prosecutors where they simulate, you know, real experiences where they're exposed to violence. And I have huge respect for them. But that they don't feel the respect from the top. And, you know, the report recommends special measures again. Imagine the Mets being in special measures yet again because nothing's improved. And listen, it calls for removing the mayor's power, but if he's failed in his basic duty of keeping us safe, then should he still retain those powers?
Well, how much can Sadiq Khan be actually blamed for this, do you think?
So he sets the whole strategy for the police, actually. He has the strategic power.
But operationally, they're independent, of course.
But there is an overarching strategy. For instance, we know that he put aside money to target hate speech or what he calls, you know, discrimination. I would have liked to see, and you know, he was deeply worried about the level of discrimination or the level of inflammatory language. I would like to see that level of worry for knife crime or, you know, sexual assault that's gone up. But you don't see it. So there is a strategy and a focus that he directs the Met to do, and there is also budgetary. I think the report says that it's not a matter of, we have a lot of police officers, just they're not on the ground.
No, it's a very, very interesting point. Tell us about this. I mean, it's interesting. The spokesman for Sir Sadiq said nothing is more important to the mayor than keeping London safe. He continues to lead the way by being tough on crime with a record 1.16 billion support from the police this year alone, and tough on the complex causes of crime through the country's first violence reduction unit, which is leading an approach rooted in prevention and intervention. This approach has led to significant reductions in crime in London, with last year seeing London record the lowest number of homicides for under 25s for more than 2 decades, and overall homicides in the capital falling to the lowest level this year since monthly records began in 2003. Is there anything in that, Laila?
Yeah, so he talks a lot about homicides, and that's where he hangs his hat on. But homicides are a very specific case, and they really do feel the full force of the law. And they're in the hundreds, and they're horrific, and when it happens. But there's so much other daily, consistent, relentless crime that Londoners feel on a daily basis in their everyday lives that is completely ignored. You know, when someone is murdered in the capital, the police, rightly so, take it very seriously and allocate a lot of resources to it. And that's the right thing to do. But all the other crimes, the daily, relentless crimes that you read about, those have gone up. And Londoners, you speak to Londoners, they just don't feel safe.
I wonder if we could talk about this story about a council that has fined a man 4 times after a disabled bay was painted around his legally parked car. This is in Croydon. The owner of the car left his car on an unrestricted road near his home in South London while he was on holiday last month. He returned to find he had been issued with 4 penalty charge notices. Footage from CCTV showed workers painted around his car prompting parking attendants to give him tickets on 4 consecutive days. I mean, this is ludicrous.
I mean, it's actually insulting. And you see it a lot from, you know, those in power, because they really think we're stupid. It's not just the fines, it's the assumption that that man's going to come and pay those 4 tickets and not realise what's been done. They assume we're stupid enough to accept all this rubbish. I mean, that's not an honest mistake. That's a deliberate thing they did, and it's contempt for the average person.
Yeah, I think I agree with all of that. Laila, thank you. That's Laila Cunningham there, who's a Westminster City Councillor for Reform UK. I appreciate her contribution to the programme today.